What is good, everybody? It's Pooh Bear with GSO Waz. Are these Gen 10 heroes that are coming out worth a damn or not? That's what we're going to discuss right now. These Gen 10 heroes that are about to drop in my state. Now, I know there's many states that already have them, probably 11 or 12s. So if you have them already, please comment right now. Are they worthy of anything? Do you use them just for bear trap? Are they great for, being a rally starter? Are they good for rally joining? What are your thoughts on them? If you already have them, please comment and let me know. But we're going to take a quick overview of them. We're going to hear kind of how they sound when you click on them and what their skill is going to look like. Now, we only care about expedition because exploration, I mean, hey, they're always good for that. So you want all of them. Yeah. But this video is going to be a pump or dump. Are you going to pump gems? Are you going to pump real life cash? Are you going to pump into them? You want it and you're going to do what you got to do to spend on these? Or is it a dump and you're not going to get them and you're going to wait? And that's kind of what our determination is going to be. So the first Gen 10 that we're going to look at is the Marksman. This is Blanchette. Let's hear her.
Ace Hunter reporting for duty. Pew, pew, pew.
She said pew, pew, pew. Holy crap, and she sounds like a super little kid. But let's see what she offers. So under expedition, her first one is going to give, let's see, forces are at least as well armed. Okay, so the forces are going to be as armed as she is, increasing all troop lethality by 5%. And then you can build that all the way up to 25% if you get it to your skill 5. That's actually not bad, all troops being 5%. Her second one, okay, marksman fire the crystal blade every 3 rounds. I'm not a huge fan of that whole 3-round thing, for, every 4 turn, because I like it to be more instantaneous every time I'm kind of using it. But every 3 rounds, she deals 15% extra damage to a target. And you can bring that up to 75%. Ooh, that is high. And her final skill, let's see, the art of sniping and her leadership, her marksman deal 8% extra damage to enemy lancers and 4% extra damage to enemy marksmen every 2 strikes. So again, it has to proc just like the other one. And you could build that up to damage up 40% and damage up 20%. So that's going to be, you can get it 40% to do damage to the lancers and 20% to do damage to the marksmen. So, I mean, these are not bad. Let's go ahead and go back. Now, next we have Freya. This is our lancer that's coming out.
I am the loyal blade of the blood moon.
The royal blade of the blood moon. Okay. And what kind of skills are we rocking on this one? So the first one reduces all enemy troop attack by 4%. So a good defensive, and you can get that up to 20. So I like that. The second one, sharpen weapons, giving lancers a normal attack a 50% chance of executing reap, dealing 20% damage. So half of the time should do additional 20% damage, but you could build that up to 100% damage. And as that gives the lancers attack. So I think it just, all lancers is attack. It doesn't matter on troop type that she's attacking. And what's the last one here? Surprise raid and branches enemy defenses, decreasing damage taken by 3% and increasing damage dealt by 3% for her infantry and her marksmen. You can get that 3% up to 15%, increasing damage dealt. Okay, so you can get them both at 15%. Got it. So damage taken down, the troops will take less damage and they will put out 15% more damage. Well, that ain't bad. And last but not least is Gregory. So we already have a Greg, right? He's that marksman. But now we have a Gregory who does infantry. So, what do you do?
My will shall be my blade.
All right, just a crazy buff dude with a super oversized sword. All right. Let's see, what are your skills for expedition? So the first skill, increase attack by 3% and defense by 2% for all troops. And you can get that up to 15%. Got it. And then defense up to 10%. Well, that ain't bad, especially because it's all troops. Next one we get here, granting all troops normal attack by 5% chance of dealing critical damage. And you can bump that all the way up to 25%. And that's all troops. And damage taken down. Okay. So reduces infantry damage taken by 4% all the way up to 20%. Ah, he's a really good player too. I don't know. I mean, that, like, I am kind of surprised. I heard a few things that came out where people were stating that you're going to want every single one of the Gen 10 heroes. So just plan to use your spinny wheel and whatnot. And I'm curious, how do we get these? So let's jump over and look at the website. First one is Blanchette. This is going to be our marksman. How do we get Blanchette? Let's see. Okay, so she is the lucky wheel. And that's how we're going to get it. And the other thing that I'm kind of curious of on this particular person is their weapon. So what increases, what bumps, what buffs are we getting from the weapon? So passion hunting increase. So the top one is going to be your exploration. The bottom one is going to be your expedition generally. And this is at level 5. And what is she doing for us? Lightning fast rally, increasing rally troop lethality by 15%. Well, didn't we also have, let's see, exploration, increasing all troop lethality by 25%. And then the weapon will give us another 15. Okay, and because we're getting this one by the lucky wheel, yeah, of course, right? We're definitely going to be getting this. That is really intriguing. I mean, so it ain't attack power, but lethality helps dramatically. Let's go back. Let's look at Freya real quick. How do we get Freya? Hall of Heroes. Okay, so that's going to be, we'll be able to get a few shards by converting gems for it, but really that's going to be buy. And what is the weapon going to give if we get it to level 5? Which is basically getting your widget to 10 to get these to 5, right? But Freya's eyes have never wavered from her secret watch. Increasing defensive troop. Wait, okay. Obviously, I can't read. Increasing defender troop defense by 15%. So even the skills under the expedition do have, so reducing the enemy troop attack, which is a defensive thing. Launches normal attack and has a 50% chance of the Reaper. Okay, so that's giving us attack. And decreasing damage dealt by the troops. So, I mean, a lot of her skills are a defensive set. It's not bad. I'm not thrilled about having to, pay, but not bad at all. And last but not least, Gregory. So how are we going to get Gregory? Hall of Chiefs. And doing these other events. All right, so we're going to pay for that one. Let's look at the weapon quick. Leadership, defensive troops lethality by 15%. So increasing our defensive troops. So that's infantry and probably a little bit of Lancer, because Lancer kind of does both, but infantry for sure. So that's going to be really good for defense. And you got to remember, we just read it. Pretty much all of the things, increase attack, which is great. Increase defense, great. Chance of dealing critical damage, so offensive. And reducing infantry attack, nice. Okay, so now that we know what we're looking at on these troops, I'm definitely thoroughly impressed with them. I want to move on to something a little different. So I had a Discord conversation with one of my teammates named Zeus. He did research on 10 and 11 troops to know what are we going to care about and what are we not. Now, let me say this up front. If you are a heavy spender or you are a whale, you are automatically getting all three of the new people every time they come out. Your max star, max widgets. That's how you roll, because the new people are always stronger than the old people. That's just how it goes, right? So you're going for power always. But when you're a moderate spender or free to play, you got to be very strategic on what you're picking and what you're going for. And pretty much, I mean, it's almost a no-brainer. You're always going for the lucky wheel because it's just gems and you're earning gems kind of throughout the game. But if you were to spend, if you're going to, spend anywhere between $5 to $50, like what would you spend any money on these people? Now, before we make our final pump or dump prediction, I want to say this. We looked up the hero guide that kind of Whiteout Survival put together. You've seen this in many different places. We even have it posted on Discord. And column in the left-hand side column, that's for people who are paying, and they're paying kind of big money. Then you have the alternate middle column, and that's maybe for people who are marginally paying. And then you have on the right side the free-to-play. When we look at Gen 10, so people who pay, Geronimo, Mia, and Blanchette. So she does make an appearance. She's taking over Bradley. The moderate spender, they're actually, so you see they had Geronimo, then they went with Magnus. Now they're switching up to Gregory, and he continues even in Gen 11 in this column. Then you have Mia, and she goes all the way down, so we know she's a rock star. We're keeping her. But you have Blanchette, and then Rufus is who's replacing her. That's also the same when you look at the big spending column on the left. As soon as you get to Rufus, Rufus stays. But you do keep Blanchette replacing Bradley for a period of time. Now, on the free-to-pay column, they have Hector and Mia, so we know those two are, we already talked about it. They're great to have. But then Blanchette. So, with that being said, and kind of seeing the value of it here, like I already told you on my bear trap, I do Hendrik, right? That's my person. I don't think Blanchette is going to be the person I'm running with. But for our pump and dump predictions, let's start on the left here with Freya. Absolutely, I'm going with pass. I mean, she has some decent stats, but I'm not doing it because I don't need all three. I'm not a whale or a rally starter. So that is going to be a dump. Dump Freya. We don't need it. Blanchette, we see that she sticks around quite a while. So that's going to be a pump. Go ahead and grab it. It's a spinny wheel. Do what you got to do. If you have the kind of the money or the bandwidth or the gems, however you want to look at it, I'm going to say Gregory is a 50-50. Like in Italian, it's like men's o men's. If you could do it and it doesn't hurt you and you're not using too many general shards, pump. If you want to wait for the next gen to come out, you're good with what you have right now and you're going to roll with Magnus, do it. Right? Then just dump them and don't worry about it. But I'm going to do, one dump, one pump, and you could do what you want with Gregory, right? But for this video, I guess we'll put him up as a pump. Go ahead and grab him if you can grab him. That is my prediction. Now, we've been here a while. This video's getting long. The next video right after this, I had an interview with my buddy Zeus over in one of my alliances, and he gives his breakdown, and he did way more of a thorough investigation for a pump or dump situation. That's what's coming right after this. But if you are new to GSOWAS, please go ahead and subscribe. We would appreciate it so much. If you are already a member, right, that means you're a rock star. Thank you. Everybody, please make a comment, give a thumbs up if you enjoy the content that you just watched. That would be greatly appreciated. And that's it. We're done today. I know, again, this is a really long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And with that, Pooh Bear out.